know what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 Yes, 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 yes. Aha, man, it's so good to be back. One more week here on How It All Works. What's good, HIAW family? I hope that you have been having a great December thus far. We sure have. And so glad to have you back on the channel one more time. Another Monday at 5:30 Central Standard Time. And today we're going to be talking about movie production. And we got, this thing is going to be great. I'm telling you. You know, every time I have guests lined up for a show and then they start sending in material, pictures, background videos and stuff like that for the show, it's just always interesting because it's like, man, I'm more and more intrigued about what we're going to cover in this thing. So it's exciting. It is exciting. I'm just looking to see, who's all here. I see Carvins is already here. I see Kanik is here. I see David Hunt is here. I see Shakira White is here. This is cool, man. This is so good. Several of you have jumped on, man. Take this time right now to share the stream, to start a watch party. We're hoping that you have, whether you're watching live with us right now, or if you are watching the replay, that you have already subscribed to the channel, because we really need to get our numbers up. We've got a goal that we're trying to reach very soon, and we're doing well on our goals. We had like 10 of them. We've already knocked off 3, so that's pretty cool. So help us reach that goal by actually clicking that subscribe button. Shakira says she's here for Tiffany. That's what's up. I love it. Listen, everybody that's here, if you're here for Horane, if you're here for Tiffany, put that in the comments. That's great. This is phenomenal. So glad that we can have this discussion. And thank you for sharing the link, Shakira. Thank you so much. So, man, this is what our December has looked like, right? We did videography and cinematography. That was phenomenal. Script writing was also an eye-opening experience. Then we did TV production, and that was last week, and we had a great time with that. Talked about a number of different perspectives and, some different ideas and workflows that we probably had not considered before. And I think today is going to be no different in that we're talking about, movies and movie production today with our two guests. So it's going to be great. And so our flyer for today is this one, and the big screen has always had an allure and intrigue for many of us. Let's get in the conversation. So we want you to engage with us in the comments. We're going to dive right in right after the intro video. Tiffany Hunter Wilson will be on screen with me, and we're going to dive into a couple of questions that we have from her, and we're going to hear from you in the comments as well. Next week, however, we're going to be dealing with live streaming. And we're going to be having Sean Doc Boyd and Diana Gladney on the channel, on the show. This is going to be great. If you don't know them, I ask, just like I did last week with our two guests today, take a moment and Google. Take a moment and Google them. Search for them. Take a look at some of the things that they've done in the live streaming space, and also specifically in the YouTube space. Both of them are avid YouTubers. So we're going to really dive into that whole concept of video production from the live streaming standpoint. How can live streaming really give you a leg up, not only for your business or your brand as a thought leader, just even to create content that you can chop up and share later. This is going to be a great conversation, and I'm excited to have both of these folks on here. So without any further ado, we are going to dive into this discussion. Tiffany's going to be on screen with me right after our intro video, which we're going to play right now. Yes. Tiffany, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Kurt.
We are excited to have you. Excited to hear from you today. Excited that you are willing to lend your voice to this conversation, and of course the considerable amount of experience and expertise that you bring to the table. And man, so just for those who are watching, you have some folks in the audience that have already given you a cool shout out, which is great, and I'm hoping that more will join us. But for those in the HIAW family who are kind of getting to know you a little bit, just take a second and tell them a little bit about you and some of the things that you've had an opportunity to do in this movie production space.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Tiffany and I started teaching actually. I started teaching theater. I've been teaching theater. This is my 21st year in actual in a high school, like in a public school sector, and I have always been like a playwright. I think I wrote my first play when I was like 15.
Wow.
Yeah, it was called Let My People Down.
Okay.
I think it was an earlier. I can't remember that one, but it was this one was called "Let My People Go." It's about Moses. So I
Wow.
volunteered at a camp. So I started there, and then from there, I went ahead and just started writing different things. Like I started my own production company, Excellence Productions. I started that in 2007, and I
Wow.
produced
Good.
my first play in 2008, right around the recession, right during an ice storm in Tulsa. So that was interesting. I thought that that was going to be my Tyler Perry moment. I was going to make all
Okay.
this money. I rented like this gorgeous theater. It was at like a community college, but in Tulsa, it was like new. It was beautiful. Of course, it wasn't a union house. So I started there, and I've done like adult shows. I do like shows for I'm gonna say teenagers. I've done that for 21 years and produced things like that, produced and directed.
Nice.
Then I decided probably like in 2017. I used to work out. Well, I still do, but I used to work out with one of my really close friends, and I was just like, I need to decide what I'm gonna do. And my because I did my last two plays. I did two plays in 1 month in 2014,
Wow.
and let me tell you, it was stressful working with adults. One was in one was shot was not shot. One was in the Bronx, and
Mm-hmm.
one was actually in Montclair. I can't believe New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
Bronx, New York. I know it's people everywhere, and I can't. I could. I was like, working with adults is a lot of work because at least when you're working with teenagers, you have their grade. You
Right.
have
Right.
like they don't have going on, and it was just like a very stressful situation. So after 2014, I kind of took a break from like working with adults as far as production is concerned, and I would work out with this with one of my really good friends who's not only a friend, she's like a business person, a mentor, all that stuff.
Nice.
I was
Nice.
just I was caught between like, am I gonna write a what am I gonna do, am I gonna go into film, like, and I'm like, I really don't know that much about film, but I'm like, I don't like the excuses. And at the time, the theater excuses. Because I wanted to come to see your play, but all that stuff. Hey, Courtney.
Good. Courtney
Okay.
saying what's up. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey. So hey, Shakira. No, adults are not easier all
They
the
are.
time. At least with teenagers, I knew where they lived. I knew their parents' phone numbers. Like with adults, it's just like you don't have a parent to call.
Wow.
So, so I really did nothing from 2014 except for write. I write. I'm always pretty much always writing, and I had an idea about some superstar teachers. And with me being an educator, I wanted to do like gladiator teachers, like teachers
Nice.
that basically solve problems. If I could be a teacher and there was no budget restrictions and I couldn't get in trouble, how would it look? And that's what made me write
Couldn't
the
get in trouble. I love that part.
Yes, yes, and that's what made me write Those Who Can, and I think so. So I think I started probably around 2016 writing, and then I don't know. Well, I was dating somebody, and he was like, I'm produce it. I'm gonna pay for this. I'm gonna support your
Oh,
vision. And I was
good.
like, okay, this
Cool.
is how much it costs. And I had another mentor who ended up being in my film that Saladin. He's an independent filmmaker in this area, and I saw his stuff, and I said, "Well, who did you use? Who was your filmmaker? Who was your director?" And he gave me Laron's number, and I contacted Laron, told him this is what I want to do. Here's a part of my script. And he was
Nice.
just like, I really like the idea. I think it's awesome. This is how much I'm going to charge you. Because I had to put
Wow.
this proposal together. So it was like, I needed someone to do the film, the filming and the directing. I'm really good at organizing, casting, all that stuff because I have a theater stage management background. And
Hmm.
then the writing was done, even though like one of my screenwriter friends was like, this reads like a play. And I was just like, when LaRon was finished with it, he cut a lot. Like right now, I think the running time is like, it's on Amazon now. So the running time is
nice.
about 106 minutes. No,
Mm-hmm.
200. It's like almost a little bit less than 2 hours. And let me tell you, he cut some stuff because it's going to be longer. And I'm really, when I do my next film, it's going to be like an hour and a half because I just had a lot to say. And I just
There you go.
not let anything go. Now I'm starting to realize sometimes it's okay to have an hour and a half film. It does not need to touch 2 hours, especially with the festivals.
So, man, listen, we are off to the races. Tiffany, wow, that is a lot. Folks, if you have your pen and paper, make sure you are taking some notes. We are getting good perspective and background from somebody who has been in the industry, somebody who has a project that's currently on Amazon Prime. Is that correct, Tiffany?
Yes, it's on Amazon Prime. So
good. And it's called Those. Say it one more time.
Those Who Can.
Those Who Can. I love that. Tiffany, I want to ask you a question. Sure. Yeah, this is our first question, and we've touched on a little bit of this already because you've shared with us some of the different hats that you've worn, and in this industry, and so you have a unique perspective. But we're trying to kind of get a feel for what are some of the differences. How do you approach a project as a writer? How do you approach a project as a actor? How do you approach a project as a director? You've had a privilege of being able to wear all three of those hats, and so some of our audience members would love to hear from you. What are some of the differences between those three areas, and what would you share in terms of people who are wanting to kind of figure out which way to pivot? What should they consider?
As far as writing is concerned, the great thing about being a writer is you can just write. You don't have any limitations. So you can just, if you have a piece of paper and a pen, because I used to write in journals.
Oh, nice.
Actually type it out, but I used to just write in journals. So I used to have like notebooks of stuff, and I would write it and then I would type it out. Now I just go straight to typing, but it's like writing. You don't need money. You just need the thoughts in your head and just to write them. I love the gift of writing because nice. It's like always going, because I probably have like 5 different projects open, and it's like I believe the more you write, the faster you write, the better you get. Same thing with reading, of course, if you're a reader. Mm-hmm. As far as an actor or actress is concerned, I do act occasionally, but that's not my love. Like right now I'm currently in a production where I'm playing a mother. And what I do like about being an actor is you just come to set and you just have to worry about you and your character and being on your mark and having your lines together, and that's it. And being someone that's more like an umbrella and I'm the one that's worried about everybody, it's kind of freeing to be an actor when you're just like, all I have to do is show up and have these lines.
That's it.
And then directing for me, I'm gonna just talk as a detached director. I'm gonna talk as a director because all my projects that I've directed, except for like maybe I've probably done like 2. I'm talking about for adults. For children, for teenagers, I've directed musicals where there's where it's been other people's work and other people's words. But I'm saying like, but that's kind of like for me, I'm blessed to be able to do what I love for a living.
Right.
But I feel like as a director, when you're directing other people's words, you have like a responsibility that you want to make sure you say what that director means, what that writer means, and you have all that, that energy. And I feel like it's also as a director, you have to be understanding to actors, and it's like you have to kind of be mom. You got to be mom.
Deal with all the personalities and stuff.
I'm not that direct. I'm not like that. I don't know if we can curse, but I'm not that that director that's like scary, because I just have never been that way, and I just don't think that that's the way to get the best performances. But some directors are like that. But for me, I'm that's just how I am in regular life. So I mean, it's vast differences. But if I had a choice, like to do anything for the rest of my life. You know what? I really don't. Probably like probably produce. I think I
Produce.
love to
Okay.
just have the idea, get sell it, and you do it. You take
And
care
you
of it,
do it.
or
You take care of it. Right, right. So
right,
like the
like
director, if correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm a project manager, right? So I like to make sure that everything's running on time. I like the 10,000 foot view and to be able to see all the different pieces, and then of course having other folks out there to take care of some of the details. If you have that kind of project, now I don't often work on projects like that. Generally, as a project manager, you have to do some of the hands-on work as well. But it sounds to me like from what you've shared that the director really has that view and really has to kind of relay the vision to the actors so that they can do a proper read or proper depiction of what you're hoping to get across in the script, in the
and
message
you
of the film. Right. Yeah, go ahead.
have to see the technical side. So that for
Exactly.
with movie production, I needed help, and I still use help. Like as far as I'm not like Horane. I'm not like as technical as they are. It's just kind of like for me, I just see and feel. But I feel like as I do, because I'm only on my second project when it comes to like
Right.
filmmaking.
Right.
But with a play, I can feel it. I can see it. It just comes naturally. I know timing. I understand the stage. So, like I miss the stage so much,
Mm.
but that's a whole nother. But I feel like there's not I don't feel like it's as much money and opportunity in the stage, and I would like to change that really because
Okay.
there's nothing to replace theater. But I didn't. I that's it. I
No,
don't.
no,
I
no.
don't. I
But
hope I.
that's a good
Okay.
perspective, and I think that's one that we had during in our scriptwriters episode. We did have Danita Jones on, and she does plays
Mm-hmm.
and playwright and very similar perspectives to yours in terms of just having that passion for the stage. So
Mm-hmm.
I see that, and I see that it resonates. I got a quick question from somebody in the audience. This is Carvins. He's one of our regulars. He's asking, what genre is your favorite to write in? I believe he corrected that spelling there. But yeah, what genre is your favorite to write? Um,
Well,
Comedy, romance, action. What do your plays look like? What would you classify? I guess the project that you currently have on Amazon Prime.
I have two different answers for that. So for my project for Amazon Prime, I love to write things with a twist. I read, well, I should say listen, because someone said I should reading, because even if it's audible, I probably do like a book or two a week.
Wow.
And I'm all about mysteries. I'm all about reading something and not knowing what's going on, and just but still being so attached to the characters that I keep on going.
Going
And
right.
that's the way I love to write. I don't like to just write where you're just like, okay, this is a story about a boy that likes a girl and then they
Mm,
break up, they get back together. Like with those who can, that was my goal. I'm like, I have a group of teachers, and then from there, the big mystery is someone, the principal is getting charged with cheating on a national test, and she ends up getting arrested by the FBI, and everyone's trying to figure out who cheated on the test, who told who, because really these teachers are so bad and they do so many things. They could not they're like, but we, out of all the things we've done, because they've done a lot of things that they shouldn't have, like they
mercy.
threaten parents, they do, they do a lot of things they shouldn't do, but they're like, we really did not cheat on the test because we are good teachers. So who in the world, had this evidence? So
Wow.
it's more to it, but that's what the film is. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think for
Let's
me,
let's not give them too much, folks. You're gonna have to go and watch that. Go right now.
oh
No,
no,
right,
I
maybe
will.
not
I'm
right
gonna.
now. Stay with us for the rest of the show, but make sure you put that on your to-do list. You're gonna have some time over the holidays. You need to go and watch this movie on Amazon Prime. That you need to go and check this thing out. I wanna get to some of the comments are coming in here. It's pretty cool. I want to get to this one question because we got to get into this section with Horane, and I know we have one or two. We have a quick little video clip that we want to show of your most recent project. So here is the question. Tell us about your most recent project and If there is a backstory or something that, isn't as known about, what's happening behind the scenes in this project, King's Fall, I believe, is the name of the project. But tell us a little bit of what we can expect to see in the clip, but also just kind of share with the audience, some of the experiences of putting together this project.
Okay, this one right here, I'm working on actually putting together a 4-part series. It started as a short film, and the idea actually came from a friend that was like, well, I would like to write about a barber that's in Newark. And then from there, I just kind of created characters and decided to tell a story about a barber who is not really a good barber, but he uses, and this is so opposite of the Teacher movie. This one is I call it an urban series.
Good.
So I don't want to call my cinematographer is different. The feel is different. I think I might have one character from my other film in there, not necessarily by choice, because only a few of my people from last time audition, but it's definitely a little bit more gritty. It's a little bit more street, but I'm telling a story about a person that is, at the top, right, and how he kind of loses he falls, and he's called King, and it's like it's once again a little bit of a mystery, because it's like how he falls is something that you would never expect.
Excellent. The comments, yeah. Folks are answering one another in the comments. I think that's so cool. King's Fall's newest project, highly anticipated. Gold Paradise Radio says that Kerwin is just saying thanks. He or she was the one that was asking about whether what was the name of the movie on Amazon Prime, and somebody answered them. So that's really cool. Fancy Moore says can't wait to watch. Yes,
those who can't. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, they responded to them in the comments. They got them right. So Those Who Can is currently on Amazon Prime, but this clip that we're about to show you right now is a behind the scenes clip for King's Fall. So let's watch that right now.
Hey, I'm Tiffany, and I am the director and writer of King's Fall, and we are working on episode 1 at the moment, and I'm really excited. King's Fall is about a guy, his name is King, and he is also a barbershop owner and a drug dealer, and this shows how the mistakes that he's made and the choices he's made causes him to kind of fall off his throne. And it's an urban series that takes place in a barbershop in Newark, New Jersey. So I hope you enjoy it. Please support my film, and thank you for your time.
That's good.
Yeah.
Man, so I had to, I'm just so full disclosure for the audience, I had to put together a smaller clip for us to watch, but I believe she has some other content that's publicly available out there that will give you a fuller picture of what to expect from this miniseries, and then you get a chance to hear from some of the actors in their own voices as well. So I think that's really cool. Folks, Tiffany Hunter Wilson, you need to check her out. Make sure you're following her. Her IG handle is on the screen. This is something you're going to want to be able to know about when it comes out, but also we just want to make sure that in the comments, make sure you are ready for questions toward the bottom half of the show. We're going to get Horane Henry in here in just a second, but before we roll, Tiffany, was there anything else you wanted to share with folks? And then, but to be clear, you're coming back. I just want to make sure everybody knows we're going to get Horane on screen for a second. We're going to chat it up with him, and then we're going to have both of them on screen, and then we're going to take some of your questions. But Tiffany, just want to give you an opportunity to say a final word before we bring Horane on.
Okay, I just wanted to tell everyone thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you go to my Instagram page, there's a link for my GoFundMe. What we're just trying to do is complete this pilot and then try to sell it. So right now I'm only 4 episodes in, so I appreciate all your support and just even watching.
Listen, we are going to make sure we have that GoFundMe link in the description of this video on YouTube. So be check back, and we'll make sure we have that here. But even in the bottom half of the show, when we bring Tiffany back on screen, we'll make sure we have that link to be able to display on screen as well. So Tiffany, if you could just text that to me, I'll make sure that I get it on screen for all of us to see. And with that, we are going to bring on Mr. Horane Henry. Mr. Horane, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? Good to be on this platform again.
Good. No, I was saying to somebody this just earlier today that you were on our series premiere.
Yep.
Right? This was Memorial Day
Memorial
earlier
Day.
this year. We were doing a show on live streaming, breakdown, and we had a panel.
Yep.
It was like 5. It was including myself. It was 6 of us talking about live streaming. It was phenomenal, and so glad to have you back.
Sir.
It's been a while.
Thank you for having me, sir. It has been a while. It has been 8 months. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I can't even count anymore.
This is episode 12 of season 2. So I mean, you were on episode 1, season 1. That's amazing.
That's 24 weeks or something like that.
That's crazy. But listen, so I want to give you the same opportunity to just kind of talk to the folks a little bit about yourself and what you do and how you come at this whole perspective of movie production. I know you are an indie filmmaker, so you've seen some of those kinds of perspectives as well, and we're going to dive into that in one of our questions. But just kind of give people a broad sense of your perspective and what you currently do as well.
Cool. This is one of the hardest things because I hate talking about myself. So I am a filmmaker / producer / engineer / photographer
No.
/ No, but for real, on the film side, I'm more on the exec producing side, and really just the overall producing and organization.
Right.
I don't write. That's one thing. Like, I do not write. I can read a script, I can give feedback, but in terms of writing, writing is not for me.
Listen,
the technical side, I definitely am more in tune with. So one of the things for me in terms of just anything that I do, I like to try to learn every aspect of it.
Yes.
So you'll see me as a gaffer, you'll see me as a grip, you'll see me as a camera person, you'll see me doing pretty much anything on the set, because again, as an indie filmmaker, you kind of have to make it do with what you have, because you don't have a budget. So that's kind of what I do on the side.
Right.
In my day job, I'm an actual engineer, a systems engineer, who I manage a team who runs live streaming operations for Disney streaming services.
Come on, bro. Disney streaming services, and we're gonna dive into that later. I'm not even gonna touch it right now. But man, so Horane. Listen, comments are lighting up. Folks are asking some stuff here. Let me throw this first question on the screen here. Somebody says, I can hear it, Horane. Where are you from? No, we're not going to touch that right now. Okay. As an indie filmmaker, because I think you're going to answer it right here. As an indie filmmaker with international perspective, talk to us about the differences between markets, right? So you have the established and developed market, what we would call, the United States. And then you have these emerging markets and undeveloped markets, where some of your films, and I think the one that we're going to show, it was filmed in Jamaica. Am I correct?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So talk to us about some of the differences there. Yeah.
Absolutely. There are stark differences, man. Like, I'll try to do my best to keep it succinct. But for one, funding is generally not available in international markets. Right. Anything that you do, you pretty much have to come out of pocket to get that stuff done. Like, the opportunities to get funding are very, very few and far between. Also, the creative industry, especially the film industry, is not necessarily very developed, to the point that it's not a recognized industry. So what that means is everything is kind of done on the fly. So whereas here in the United States, you have the CAA, with a creative arts agency, which you have to sign up to get into. You have agents, you have representation who you have to get in order to just get a pitch. So I'll give you this example. Yeah. Like, even though I work for Disney and I know a lot of people on the inside. Like I wanted to send a pitch to a friend of mine in Disney. Dude, I had to sign a form to say that, hey, they're just reading this over. This is not a submission. This is not anything. In order for me to submit, I would have to find an agent, find a manager, send it through them to submit. Like I work in the company. But on the flip side to that, I was able to get opportunities to sit in on a panel for a show that airs on ABC. It's a cop show on ABC. I can't really talk much about it, but I'll give the generalities. The opportunity of being able to sit on that panel to give diverse feedback so they could feed that back into the writer's room all the way into production. So it's a weird thing how, there's a stark difference. Whereas in the international market, you kind of like, all right, I have this idea, I'm gonna do it,
and you roll.
I'm gonna talk to some people, and you just run with it. There's no regulation. Regulation is the word I was looking for. There's no regulation to how the industry works.
And this is a blessing and a curse. And I hear how you're trying to balance that thing. And so I want our audience to kind of catch that. So underdeveloped, quote unquote, underdeveloped or emerging markets does not always necessarily mean bad. A lot of the creativity, a lot of the hustle, a lot of the new ways of doing things and thinking come out of those emerging markets because they don't have all the red tape, right?
Correct.
But then you also don't have the guardrails, right? I think you would agree. You don't have the guardrails. You don't have those protections. And so you do find a lot of folks that get taken advantage of. And, there's a reason why some of these things exist in this established and developed markets. So a really cool perspective. I'm so glad that you're able to share that with us, Horane. I'm looking at my time. I know you wanted to say something, but I want to get to this first set of pics that we have here from a production that you did in Jamaica. Just walk us through some of these, and then we'll go to the video.
Yeah. So actually, the top one is not in Jamaica. That was actually done here in the U.S. So Tiffany actually is the lead actress in the top left one.
Okay.
The rest of the photos are from a film in Jamaica. So this was a film we shot it started in September. We ended filming in October. We pretty much, this was all self-funded. My writer, who's in Jamaica, and most of my production team for this was done in Jamaica. Oh, Kevin, you're on here. Nice. So Kevin was one of the assistant directors on the film as well.
Nice.
So this is pretty much about a boy who has supernatural powers in terms of seeing when people are going to die before.
Wow.
So the lead characters are there. If you look at that second picture to the up top, the lead character is in the orange shirt.
Right.
And the red shirt is those two are pretty much the lead characters.
Right.
Picture to the go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. The picture. Go ahead.
The picture to the lower left is pretty much that's in Mandeville, Jamaica. For those who are familiar with Jamaica, so we pretty much shut down the town of Mandeville to get a couple of shots. Evaluating on number 2, we're working on it. And yeah, so kind of to the point of if we were doing something like this in Hollywood, you'd have to get permits out the wazoo. Right. We kind of knew some people. They made some stuff happen for us, and we were able to shut the town down.
Wow.
But if we were doing this in the U.S., sir, this is months of permitting.
Yeah. And that's the kind of perspective I want our audience to be able to walk away with, to understand, some of the things that go into a production, go into movies and film. It is a monster. And, sometimes we think about that timeline like, wait a minute, you said, you talk to an actor and they're like, oh yeah, we recorded that a year or 2 ago. And you're like, what? Mm-hmm. What in the world happened between then and now? There's just so much that happens. And then, of course, you have that release schedule. When is the best time to release it? Should we release it now? We're not sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to move quickly. I want to be cognizant of my time here. Set up this next video clip. All right. This is the lead actor, the kid in the orange shirt there. Yep. He's on the floor, kind of breathing heavy, and somebody's talking to him. Set up what we're about to see.
Yeah, so what you're about to see is so the kid in the orange shirt, so he has been captured by if you look in the picture to the right next to me, the guy in the white shirt here. So
Right.
he has captured the kid because he wants to make money off of him seeing into the future, right?
Right. Right.
So the kid wants to get away. And he's just like, I don't want to do this. Like, you're draining my energy. So, you know, he's really like, dude, I put money on you. You better let me
Come
get my
through.
money back.
Got
Yeah,
it. Got it.
exactly. So that's what you're about to see here. How the director was kind of breaking down. We're framing the shot. You see the lighting right above the kid, and we're kind of framing the shot to get the emotions, because this was one of the turning points in the film. Is like, listen, I need to get out of here.
Right, right. And I love I'm gonna keep us unmuted while this is playing, and I would love for you to just kind of walk us through what we're seeing in terms of equipment, in terms of angles, what was the effect that we were going for. So here we go.
Absolutely. All right, so right here you see this is a director's monitor. So we're wirelessly watching what the camera op, the director of photography, who's sitting right there on the Apple box,
Right.
framing the shot right there. And my audio operator is in that room. You see that little boom that's coming out.
Yeah.
So we're capturing the audio of the dialogue between the actors there. And the writer, I don't think I panned to her, but her foot, you can see her foot right there. So she's on set with us. Typically, like in the US, writers never go to set. But again, from the other side of it is like, in my country, in Jamaica, you have a saying that you're a head cook and buckle washer, which means that you got to do everything.
Yes. Yes.
So the writer is on set with us. She's also the director. She's also the makeup artist. She's also this, and she's also the location scout. You know,
Right.
so it's you kind of wear a lot of hats as an indie filmmaker.
Right. Wow, man. Listen, this has been gold. I want to play this trailer. It's 60 seconds, I believe. And then we're gonna tie up this piece, and then we're gonna get Tiffany back on here. So here's the trailer for this movie. Give us the name of the movie.
It's called Your Day Is Tomorrow. Short YDIT.
YDIT. Your Day Is Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Your Day Is Tomorrow.
Sexy. And me say make you put them comfy and
Yes.
sexy.
That
right
last
there.
piece right there was gold, man. Gold. All
Yeah.
my yachty people them stand up. Yeah, man. Big thing going. You know, you know, Horane, we always have this conversation where it's like, if I slide into Pato, I can't come back out. So I'm trying my best to just stay right here. I'm trying my best to stay right here.
We're not trying to lose the audience.
So listen, what I want to do is I want to throw up this last question. I think we have one more for you. Streaming. This is where once we get this one answered, we're going to bring Tiffany back on. But streaming is different from live streaming.
Yes.
Right.
Correct.
I want you to. You talked to us at the beginning about being working as systems engineer for Disney. Finish the rest
Streaming
for me.
services.
Disney streaming services. Talk to us about content distribution and the stream first approach. Right. What this movie, Wonder Woman, is releasing this coming weekend, I believe it is. And it's currently available on HBO Max, and folks are going to be streaming this thing, not really releasing to the theaters. We're seeing this huge shift, right? So talk to us about that stream first approach and some of the, you know, what does it take on the back end from your team and others that are having to pull this stuff off? I mean, this is phenomenal. Jingle Jangle released directly to Netflix. Netflix has taken a stream first approach, and a lot of the rest of the industry is following suit. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So again, like this kind of was coming from a couple years ago. So like if people who follow the industry look back on what Netflix did, so remember a couple years ago, maybe 12 years ago now, Netflix, you had to get a DVD mailed to your home. You
Yes.
sent it back, all of that type of stuff.
Yes. Yes.
The behaviors of consumers have changed, and people want the convenience, right? So you have all these platforms now, where Amazon Prime, you have Netflix, you have HBO Max, you have Disney Plus, you
Yeah.
have Hulu.
Yeah.
Like the list goes, like every other week, it's something that's coming up. Then you have those who have failed. Like Quibi lasted 6 months,
6 months. Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And but again, like what these companies are trying to do is what you call direct to consumer.
Yes.
So what that means is from my pipeline directly to you in your home without
Yes.
going through an intermediary. The
Right.
typical way it normally works is like you'd have to go to the theaters, you lose a bunch of money here,
Mhm.
that revenue doesn't go all the way back up to the company.
No.
So they're trying to cut the middleman out. And you
And-
see, that's why you have so many streaming services right now, is because everybody's trying to get that dollar directly from me, the consumer, or you, the
Wow.
consumer.
And to be clear, folks, I just want to interject here quickly, Horane. That whole apparatus that they are trying to leapfrog is an entire industry, right? I mean, we're talking about theaters that are the centerpieces of malls literally all over America. And so when we're talking about that leapfrog, this is a major shift. Some of it was already naturally happening, but the pandemic has absolutely accelerated this whole thing. Exactly. So I'm so glad that we can chat with you about this and about some of that perspective. Horane, anything that you want to share with folks? We want to, like I said, we want to get Tiffany back on screen with us, and make sure that we have that piece for us. Oh boy, there we go. I got the wrong one.
So quickly, I'll just say, as an indie filmmaker, like the quote I sent to you is, you have to really do it for the love, because you will lose a lot of money trying to get rich.
Right.
That's all I'll say. Like, you will lose a lot of money trying to get rich.
That's amazing.
Trying to get rich. Yes.
That's good. We are so here. Listen, you can. I'm not certain if you can hear her, but I can hear her in the background.
I can hear her.
I'm gonna bring. We're gonna bring her back on right now.
No, it's all good.
No, it's all good, Tiffany. It's all good. We're gonna bring her right in right
seems
now.
like I felt the nerve there.
We want to make sure we have all of us on screen. Tiffany. Wow, the time has run past us so quickly. I have the plug your hustle section. I'm really running to get to that. I want to make sure that folks know where to follow you. Thank you for sending me the link. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to go straight to the drowning picks, right? Here we are. All three of us are on screen. This is a project, folks. So HIW family, this is a project that both Tiffany and Horane got a chance to work on together.
This is where I actually met her.
And okay, good.
Yes.
Perfect. So we're getting a chance to kind of reunite them on our platform, which is so cool. But either one of you walk us through what we're seeing on screen, and then of course we're gonna go through this behind the scenes video for this project, and talk us through what we're gonna see in that scene as well.
Yeah. So the top two photos, we're actually in between takes. Setting up shots. So the guys were actually, I think we were switching camera lenses here. I don't quite remember. And we're just like having fun on set.
Yeah,
like,
I see the laughter.
We shot this film in 18 hours. On one Sunday, we started, call time was 6 a.m. We shot this short in 18 hours. The other one is we're setting up, we're framing the shot again. And I'm actually doing audio. So we have two cameras set up there.
Yeah, I see the boom mic.
Yep, the lower left photo, Tiffany's outside. So this, the person she has on her back is her kid in the film. Right. So this was actually a flashback scene. So the kid actually in the dialogue is older, but she did a flashback scene. She was singing a song, and this actor came in as a flashback. And to the right, you see just catching audio of Tiff just speaking to the actor.
Yeah, I was the one over here with me holding the girl with the piggyback. Tanisha was the director, and the crazy thing is, I met her, and I was also auditioning for her first film, and I didn't get a part. I was up for like I guess one of the mother, and I didn't get it. And she called me the next summer, and she said, "Are you interested?" And I said, "Of course, yes." And
Wow.
I auditioned, but this particular scene, it made me cry because I am a parent, and it's just like
Mm,
I'm a crier anyway, but it just like it touched me. And like I just met this little girl, and it just we had to forge a relationship as characters, and it just I felt it. And then of course I'm one of those criers, even though we were 18 hours of filming. It just really touched me because I just love the fact that this character, was because she's a little nuts. Like you guys have to watch it. It's drowning. You have to
Yeah.
see it. But
yeah,
she has
yeah,
a lot going on. But
she
this is
does.
before her, her down, her depression and just the relationship with her daughter. And I'm
Mm,
very sentimental like this. And I just thought that the crew and the director and just everyone in this like was just so caring. And it was just a professional experience. It was great.
excellent, excellent. So in this next shot, Tiffany, there's I don't know if it's the writer or the director is talking with you.
The
Horane, you had
director.
mentioned earlier that they were kind of walking everybody through some things. Everybody's in this shot. It's kind of a behind the scenes
It looks like
video.
chaos, but there's
I mean, it looks like
yeah,
home to me. I feel very
yeah.
much at home when I see this kind of content. So let's watch that. And of course, your mics are unmuted, so we can talk through this video.
Yep. Yeah, so because we
Yeah.
were no,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
Both go. Go ahead.
we didn't have a we had no rehearsal at all. So literally everybody showed up at 6 a.m. that Sunday morning. They had looked at the script before, but we had to rewrite the script Sunday morning. So Tiffany's there as the lead actress, and the director Tanisha is basically just giving her directions. Tiff, you could take it.
Yeah, that was it. I'm trying to think. I feel like we had something, maybe a phone call between me and the husband,
Keep going.
and
Keep
she
going.
introduced stuff, but that's about it. But it definitely was a great experience because Tanisha, her favorite thing is, "Are you okay? You're okay, right? You're okay." That's and I needed that sometimes, like because I am okay, but sometimes it's nice that people ask you, "Are you okay?" Yes,
Yes.
Court. It was a great experience. It's great when you work with people that are positive.
That's good. That's good. Shakira says you are definitely in character. So this is a project that I actually have seen, and it was touching. Absolutely touching. They are not joking when they say that Tiffany's character was a little nuts,
Yeah,
but
she
it
was
is.
just looking.
Yeah, but I mean you really nailed that part. So that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Thank
That's so cool.
I gotta
Again,
just shout out the people
please
though, because like Kurt, like you, dude, like it literally. My writer in Jamaica, she sent me a skill like, "Hey, we got this I got this new camera. I want to test it out." So I got to give you the backstory.
yeah,
I
please.
had just gotten the new camera. I got the 6K at the time, and I was like,
I
"Yo,
saw it. I saw it there.
I got this new camera. I want to test it out. I want to shoot a little project just to." So I'm thinking she's gonna send me something that's like 4 or 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Dude, she sent me a whole script in 3 hours.
Oh my
So
word.
then, in the space of 2 weeks, I got to get it casted. I got to find location. Also got to shout out my friend Sue and Earl. Like they let me take over their house for the entire day.
Wow.
Like we kicked them out their house,
Wow.
Yes.
took over their house
Didn't,
for the entire day, everything.
and didn't we fry their chicken?
Yes,
I
we
know
fried their chicken.
we had flour. It was nice.
Yes, we
Wow.
fried their chicken.
That is amazing. That is
Because again,
amazing.
like in a movie, like you have it's real. Like you have to make people feel like they're involved in the story. So like we had to get props to make everything kind of look like,
Yeah.
yo, this wasn't done in 18 hours. So just the whole team was amazing. Like my actual DP who's on my team in Jamaica, like he flew up to shoot this because they're like, yo, if we're gonna get all these people, let's just try to make it as good as we can get it.
That's
Even
excellent,
though
man.
again, you can go broke trying to get rich.
Yeah.
A lot of this is out of pocket, but you do it because you love it.
I want to
Mm-hmm.
highlight a comment from Blind Guy's wife. They're like, this is name of his YouTube channel, but he says indie productions are a major sacrifice but very gratifying. And he's pointing out, I think he was speaking to specifically of TDIY. Horane, your work is gratifying to watch as well. And then
Oh, thank you, man. Thank
I
you.
wanted to point out this comment for you, Tiffany. Danita Lachelle was actually on that script writers program. I would love to see the two of you connect because
Yes.
you're actually
Danita's
a
awesome.
theater teacher, and she went to that's what her degree is in. Went to Full Sail
Yeah.
and went to I'm forgetting the other school. Danita, don't
Fisk.
kill me. Fisk, yes, she went to Fisk for that as well. So I would love to see the two of you guys connect because even as you were
Right.
talking about your love for writing and your love for the stage, I just kind of heard Danita as well. So I was like, this is a good
Exactly.
connection. I would love to make sure that happens. So Danita, I know you're watching. I'm going to make sure that we try and connect you and Tiffany together. This is, man, we're right there. 621, 621 in Huntsville, at least. I know it's 721 for you guys, but we're right at that time frame. We're doing well. We've covered a lot of the stuff, but here's what I want to do. I want to take a second to pose this question to both of you. I want both of you guys to answer this because whether they're watching now or they may be watching another time, people who are watching the broadcast now may share this with somebody who is up and coming, someone who has a hunger and thirst for writing or producing or directing cinematography. What would be your advice to someone, an aspiring media professional looking to get into movie production? Just think through some of the steps that you took, but talk, give each of you, take a moment and just kind of unpack what would you say to that person who is watching, or regardless whether it's live or they're watching the replay and they're looking at this and they're saying, man, even from the perspective of what I've seen just in the show thus far, this is something I want to do. Give them some practical advice in terms of what could they do to start that journey.
Tiffy, go ahead.
You want me to go? Okay. I didn't finish my story, Kirk, about how I produced this film. So what had happened was, that's what we say in Jersey. What had happened was, what happened? The person that committed to actually producing my film ended up, it just didn't work out. Which
Okay.
sometimes that happens, is sometimes you get people in your life, for a season, and that's what happened. But the great thing about him committing, it pushed me to write a proposal. It pushed me to talk to LaRon and really figure out how in the world can I get this produced and can I do it on my own?
Wow.
And I feel like I'm a single woman, and it's great if you have help and if you have a husband and all these other things. For me, it's kind of like I had to make a decision. How am I going to live? What will make me happy, and figuring out those priorities. And it's like, for me, I self-produce. So I actually I did a GoFundMe, and I don't want to self-produce for the rest of my life, but it's like being willing to say, you know what, I'm going to live at a certain level so that I can afford to do all these things and kind of set a budget. So this guy, LaRon, he gave me, lots of money. He gave me like a payment plan. And then I was like, when we got halfway, and I was just like, listen, I think we need to make this into a short film or an episode, because at this point, and he went down and he was just like, as long as if you can get me some actors, and sometimes you just need to barter. Like,
Right.
And working is important. Showing up is way more important. I met a lot of people in this industry, just like I use my gifts. So I write. So my current DP that I'm working with now, I wrote for him. So he's shooting for me for free.
Excellent.
Which is, you can't put a amount of money on that. So,
Yeah.
and I do other things for him as far as like the writing is concerned. But it's like, don't be afraid to talk to people. And if they ask you to show up and help in their stuff, you would be surprised that they would show up and help for you. And I find showing up and creating relationships and letting them know if they're a part of my stuff, no matter how big or how small, I'm going to make sure I feed you. And then I'm going to make sure that you're taken care of, and you don't feel like, okay, I did all this and like you snatched my soul. And I just, you always want people to make people feel like they matter, even if they're getting paid or they're not getting paid.
Right. One of the things that that is so much good, so much gold that you just shared with folks, and I hope that it's resonating. I hope that people are not just thinking, okay, she's talking about movie productions, and I might not be in movie productions. I think that the advice you're giving, Tiffany, is good for everyone, right? I mean, having a connection and a network that you can build on and you can go to, that you can pour into and be poured into, is so critical when you're looking to advance in a professional space. Was it last week? I think it was. We had Ralph Jean-Pierre and Elroy Byam on. We were talking about TV production, and Ralph was talking about being at I think it's AFI Institute in DC as in his doing his degree. And one of the things they did for them is they put them all on these little YouTube projects, right? As you know, up and coming in the film industry, they put all of their students on these YouTube projects. And one of his classmates, a really good friend of his, was put on a project working on a little program on YouTube. But the director was Issa Rae, and she has actually kept her with her now, even though they're at HBO. So it's again that network, right? Some of what you just said, it's about building those connections and making sure you're not only just pouring into them, but you can be poured into as well. So critical, so great. I mean, excellent advice that we're hearing. I want Horane to take a moment and take a stab at this as well.
Yeah,
From
absolutely.
your side,
So from the first thing for me that I would say to anybody is you have to be willing to sacrifice. So like like practical ways. So we shot that movie in Jamaica, right? Like, dude, I commuted to Jamaica 2 weeks straight. So I would fly out on a Thursday night, Friday, be there, work all the way through, and fly back to New York 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, depending on the flight I could catch, 3 a.m. and get to work for 8:30 a.m. on Monday morning.
No, sir.
Yeah.
That's sacrifice.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, you got to be willing to sacrifice.
Right.
And again, like, you've got to be in it for the long haul. Some people get lucky and hit after their first one or two, but the majority of the indie folks who you talk to, they don't hit until 2030.
Wow.
But as one of my team members is in the comments is like, just keep shooting. Shoot, write, shoot, edit, repeat. Write, shoot, edit, repeat. Like, you know, you got to be able to sacrifice. You've got to be willing to sacrifice.
I love that. That is gold, man. I think, yeah, absolutely. There's golden nuggets of wisdom for anybody who is looking to dive into this career path, into this field. And again, I want to make sure that you guys can follow these folks: Tiffany Hunter Wilson, Horane Henry. Their IG is on screen, but I want to take a second to allow both of them to kind of talk. You know, tell you where their platforms are. Maybe IG is not it. Maybe you've got a site or something that you want to be able to share with them. I will be taking whatever contact information they share with me and put it in the description of the YouTube video. So if you check back on YouTube tomorrow, maybe check the description. We'll make sure we have everything there, including the GoFundMe, which I'm struggling to pull onto the screen right now, but I'm going to make sure I have that in the description. But we'll start with Horane and we'll go to Tiffany. Just share where people can follow and find you, how they can support what you're doing, how they can get access to some of these projects. I know TDIY is already out, correct? So,
yeah, YDIT is out. It went to film festival.
My bad. YDIT.
Yeah, it's out. It went to film festivals. And the other one, so we just wrapped a project last week actually, and applied to 22 film festivals. So we're waiting for those to come in as well. But you can find us on YouTube, iKon Media, IKON Media. Find us on IG as well, ikonmediaja. And you could follow me on IG there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like that's it right there. Okay. We put most of our films out for free. Oh, and I'll just, as we're plugging this, one of the things that when I say you don't hit right away. So there's a project that we did 5 years ago. It's a documentary. It's a surfing documentary about surfing in Jamaica, like who thought about that, And we got an email 2 weeks ago that a large bank in Jamaica wants to license it for 3 months.
Wow.
This was something we did 5 years ago. Like, never even thought about it. So that's some of the things. It's like you just keep going, man, because you never know who's watching. You never know when your time is going to come for it to hit one of the projects. So yeah,
Right.
just keep going.
Right. That's gold. I think anybody that's listening, you really need to pay attention to what Horane is sharing. So iKon Media on YouTube, iKon Media JA
On
on
IG.
IG, and then of course you can follow at Horane_Henry as well. So I was able to, well, let me get this back on here. I was able to pull this up. Linktree / King Fall Series 2020 is it has all of the links there. Am I correct, Tiffany?
Yes, you can find everything there, or just go to IG Ms. MZ Director 7,
Right.
or King Fall Series. I think it's 2020, but I have two Instagram pages. But
Good.
either one, and you'll find. I give all the information over and over again.
Good.
Yes.
So I have one I want to just grab one or two questions from the audience before we wrap this thing up. Here's one from Shakira. She's asking, how do y'all get past all the hiccups, financial issues, actors being unreliable? How do you get past some of those things? Either one of you, if you want to speak to that.
So I'll jump in. I'd like to start with you. The financial issues, like Tiffany touched on it earlier, is barter. Like, so my friend Kevin is in the comments. Like, we met Kevin on a project we were doing for corporate work maybe 8 years ago. Kevin does animation, but he's also a director. Like, we couldn't pay him. So what ended up happening is we bring Kevin on board, but we also help him on his projects when he wants to shoot.
Right.
And my writer helps him as well with scripts and stuff like that. So like, one of the big things I strongly suggest is networking with the people who can help you, so you can barter with them.
Right. You got to know the players that need to be at the table and understand how you can fill those spots in your circle, in your team. Go ahead, Tiffany.
For me, for financial issues, like I said before, it's like kind of living, because like I said, I'm single, living below my means. But like, when I marry my millionaire, I don't have to worry about it. But for now, it's like the things that it's like, okay, well, what project are you working on next? I'm going to buy a house. Like, it's like, for me, it's like, okay, buy a house or do my film or love my project. Do I, how do you live? What do you buy? And it's like kind of budgeting for a film and understanding that you might have to spend some money, and also the bartering. The actors being reliable for me, because I have a history of education and working with teenagers, that you have to tell them the same thing over and over again. I try to do emails, text messages, reminding people, getting them to confirm, asking them the day before. And I also, God's blessed me where I have an assistant. Well, it sounds way more grander than it is. It's a woman that agreed to work with me for a very little bit of money, but it's such a blessing because she keeps me together, and she will text the actors for me. But it's like repeating and understanding the actors that are not reliable, you will just not work with them again. And it's kind of like a circle where, I will ask certain people that I work with, like, is this person reliable? Is this person not reliable? Because everyone is just not. And your reputation, that's the worst reputation to have, unreliable. Like, even if you're, I think that's the worst thing. Like, even that, I don't even really hear bad attitude. I hear unreliable. She didn't show up. Okay, that's all you need to tell me. I cannot do it.
That is amazing. We're over our time, and I want to say a word of thanks to our guests, to Tiffany and to Horane, for coming through and sharing with us again from your unique perspective, from your years of experience and expertise on this subject of movie production. We really appreciate you doing that, and I just want to say a word to the HIAW family. Please take a moment. They've got projects that are out there that you can watch, support what they're doing, and then begin to kind of start opening your mind up a little bit more about what is out there in terms of films that may not be on the Billboard list, or getting their commercials or their trailers played on different shows that you may watch on TV. There's a lot of content, and there's a lot of a whole apparatus around building that content and producing that content. So support that arena, and I think you'll find that there is some really good messages in those content as well. I really like the idea for all of the things that we have actually shown today. And again, just want to say a word of thanks to Tiffany and Horane. I'm going to kind of close it out here, but if you just hold on for a little bit as I close out the show, I want to say a word to you after we go offline. But again, my thanks to both of you. Wow. This was amazing, man. This was amazing. I mean, just wealth of knowledge and experience that we were able to glean from both Horane and Tiffany today. I hope that somewhere in the, the whole discussion, you got some nuggets of wisdom, that your perspective may have been shifted slightly, that you were able to peek behind the veil a little bit and figure out how it all works. And I'm hoping that you will take the journey with us as we seek to build this platform and this community, and that you'll subscribe to the channel, smash that like button on the video, and hit the bell so you know not only when we go live, but when we have new content on the channel. We are going to have next week on the show Shondoc Boyd and Diana Gladney. I want to make sure that you guys are in place for this. It's going to be excellent. We're closing out the year strong with these two guests. Trust me, you're going to want to do your homework. You're going to want to be in place early so that you can ask questions. We're going to try and leave it a little bit less scripted so that we can really engage around what you guys want to hear from them. If you've ever wanted to live stream, if you've ever thought about using live streaming for your business or brand to kind of get yourself out there, if you've ever thought about doing YouTube, you're going to want to be in place. And I want to read this line at the bottom of this flyer. It says, we'll be giving away two TubeBuddy Legend plans during the show. If you are a YouTuber and you know the value of TubeBuddy for analytics, for tags, for naming, you're going to want to be in place next week. TubeBuddy has given the How It All Works community two Legend plans that we can give away to some lucky viewers. So share, and make sure we're in place. Same time, same channel, 5:30 Central Standard Time, 6:30 in the East, 3:30 in the West. It's Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher, and we're glad that you're here with us. We're glad that you're taking this journey with us, and we hope to see you in the next video. Later.
How it all